Hey everybody, welcome back to the Budget Bladesman. And the blade we're going to be looking at today, as you can see, is a Spyderco. And more specifically, the Spyderco we're going to be looking at today is the Manix 2. So let's pull this guy out and take a look. Alright. We'll flick that bad boy open. You can see it's kind of your typical style Spyderco. So let's get the specs out of the way. So we are looking at an overall length of 8 inches. The blade length is 3.375. We have a little bit of a slightly thicker blade at 0.13 on the thickness. Not super thick, but there it is. The blade is made out of CTS BD1, and you can see right there, the marking right there. It is a satin blade and is a plain edge blade. You can see there's no serrations on that guy. And it is a drop point, the typical Spyderco drop point, which is, in my opinion, almost like a spear point, but that's what they call it. It is full flat ground. You can see there's pretty much no edge on that. It's pretty straight across. And the handle is made of what they call Edge Tech. With the material is fiberglass reinforced copolymer. And you can kind of see it's kind of a iridescent blue. You can kind of see through it. It's kind of a cool, different type of handle. I think they also make this in black, but definitely in the blue is pretty cool. It's kind of different. Has that volcano grip that Spyderco is known for as well. Okay, so we'll close that up real quick. And this is a tip up only. As you can see there, there is no thing around the bottom to make it tip down. And it is an ambidextrous wire clip. So there's our wire clip there. You can zoom in, you can see the setup for the wire clip at the top there. And again, it is ambidextrous, so you just flip that over. And it does have a nice big lanyard hole if that's your thing. And pop that open. And this is what they call a ball bearing lock. So this is your locking mechanism right there. And inside this is a caged bearing. And so this is, pull down on this. And there you go. You can see it swings down, unlocks the blade. And you can flick open the blade like that, middle flick it. You can thumb flick it. And of course, you can hold that down and flick it open like that. So it is kind of a neat option. It's definitely, a fidget factor if that's your sort of thing. It is, again, like I said, thumb hole is the opening mechanism, but you have a couple different options. And you can see that right here, it is made in the U.S., Golden, Colorado, USA Earth. All right, so let's pull our comparison knives and check those out. So first, we have, as usual, our K-bar dozer. Let me pull that out right here. As you can see, a little bit, the dozer is a little bit smaller, so yeah, the Manix is just a little bit longer. But if we actually go sharpened blade length, it's a little bit closer, because you do kind of have that finger trail right here, so you can really choke up. And you do have jimping on the top and on the other side there, so you can really choke up really nice and really get good purchase on that if you don't hold it in the standard grip. So it does give you a little more purchase. So it does shorten technically the sharpened blade length a little bit, but the overall blade length, you can see there's a little bit more on that. Again, this is a pretty thin knife, the dozer. And if we pull this out here, you kind of see that the Manix is still a fairly thin blade. All right, so then we'll pull out our Gerber flat iron next. And you can see that's a much more fair comparison as far as overall size length here. Let's pull these down just a little bit. You can see that pretty much when you talk about the flat iron and the Manix, they're a lot closer in size length. If we put that on top, and the finger trails line up just about right, so the blade length, you can see that the Manix is just a hair, let's say just a hair longer as far as sharpened blade length. So, but again, if you look at the thickness, you can see that it almost looks like twice the size of the flat iron versus the Manix there. All right, so let's close these ones up and get these out of the way. Okay, and let's see how these look in the pockets of our shorts / cargo pants. Well, let's close this guy up first real quick. All right. So here's our shorts. Let's get them in the pocket there. And the good thing about these wire clips, it does slide in and out pretty easy when you're not doing it on camera. Even still, it's pretty smooth. You can see it's not a super deep ride. You are definitely going to have some sticking out. You can tell it's a knife, but very thin profile with just this wire clip as far as that goes. Now it is a little bit wider just because the blade shape, you know, those leaf slash drop point blades that Spyderco does, so it does take a little bit more room in the pocket. It is a little bit wider. You still get your hand through, you can still get your other stuff in there. So let's pull this out. Pull out the pocket. You can see that's the edge of our knife right there, so you can still get your hand in there. You can still probably get, you know, a front pocket wallet, or, you know, a smaller multi-tool. You may not, I don't know if there's quite enough room for like a cell phone, but maybe if, you know, you have a slightly smaller, but it would be a little bit tight. All right, let's get that out of the way. Let's open this up. So for me, this is a great all-around EDC knife. This is actually my favorite knife. And when they say, you know, oh, why is it your favorite? You know, you get those things where people say, well, if you could only have one knife. Well, about a year ago, I had to sell off some of my collection. And, you know, I had some better Spydercos, some Cold Steels, Benchmade in there. And this is the only one that stuck around. You know, I can say that this is definitely my favorite knife. Like I said, I had some other high-end knives that I just, you know, if I had to get rid of them, I did, but this is the one that stuck around. So I would definitely recommend this knife as your all-around EDC knife. I wouldn't say that this is probably a little bit big for office carry or something like that, but I think for the most part, you know, EDC would be a good solid work knife, stuff like that. It's not gonna, you know, wear on you. It's good steel. It's made in the U.S., so if that's important to you, it's, you know, you're supporting a local company, you know, a United States company, so that's always a plus if you can. So like I said, this is just a great all-around knife. This is my favorite knife. I will say that it is, now when I know we're talking budget, but if you look at my bio, I said we're going to come in at a few that are at 100 or around 100, and that would be the top of my price list. And this is definitely coming in at that price point. It's $100, so just be advised. I mean, you will have to save up a little bit to get this knife, and I know this isn't, you know, what we typically call budget, but this is a knife that's going to last you forever if you take care of it. And I really believe this type of quality you can't pass up. And like I said, I had some other knives that I sold, but this one stuck around. So I know this doesn't typically fit into what we think of as budget, but at $100, I think you're getting a lot of bang for your buck. So it's definitely worth checking out if you really want a premium knife. So thanks for checking this out, guys, and we'll catch you next time. Bye.